Greetings to all of you. I am Dr. Vandana Shiva from India. Originally trained as a physicist, did my PhD on non-locality and hidden variables in quantum theory, which is already a recognition that we are interconnected. Nothing can be divided, nothing is separate. But I have spent the last 50 years also in protecting our Mother Earth, beginning with the Chipko movement. I have spent the last 40 years saving seeds, promoting an ecological agriculture that I now find is not just the practice of care for the earth, but is the answer to so many of the multiple crises we face: the climate crisis, the biodiversity extinction, the hunger, the disease crisis, the new epidemics, the new infectious diseases, the new chronic diseases that are taking their toll. And in the last 2 years, that is what has been the dominant narrative. We are of the earth. We are earth beings. We are alive because the earth is alive. The earth gives us life. And it's through life we are interconnected, both through other beings as well as to our fellow humanity. We are part of nature. We are not separate from nature. We are not the masters of the earth. We are not her conquerors. Living in war with the earth is the reason we are in the predicament we face today. We are made of the same elements of the earth is made of. In our philosophy, the Panch Mahabhutas: the earth, the fire, the water, the air, and space. As we say in one of our prayers, the peace prayer, may the peace of the earth, may the peace of the skies, may the peace of the space, may the peace of the plants and the herbs, may the peace of all life, may that peace be with you. And that's my greeting to you today, because we have to stop making war with the earth and start making peace with the earth. We are air and breath. And when the air is polluted, not only do we suffer respiratory diseases, but that pollution of the air becomes the accumulation of pollution that we experience as climate havoc, climate catastrophes. We are water. The planet is 70% water. Our bodies are 70% water. And exhaustion of water is by forgetting that the water is sacred. I come from the sacred Himalaya, which feeds all of the north of India. And in fact, the Himalaya itself provides water to half of humanity. Right now, with the combination of climate havoc, melting of glaciers, extreme rains, and maldevelopment that is tearing the mountains apart, our cities are sinking, our villages are being emptied. And the Himalaya, which Krishna said, is I am the symbol of stability, is now becoming unstable. Water is what connects us in peace, or it can connect us in destruction when we are disrespectful. The Himalayan waters, each of the four sources of the Himalayan rivers in my region, the Ganges, the four tributaries at the source of each of the tributaries of Gangotri, of Yamunotri, of Kedarnath, Badrinath, they are the source of our rivers. So our temples are the nourishment that nature provides us. Sacred earth is the temple we live in that gives us life. We are food. Everything is food. The nutritional cycle is what sustains life. The air, the soil, the biodiversity, the water, the food are the currencies of life that connect our life to the life of Mother Earth. Breath, air, water, food together is what makes us living. And it's the living earth that gives us this. We breathe because of oxygen, and the oxygen is such a miracle that the earth, over 4 billion years, created microbes in plants with the capacity of photosynthesis. They could draw down the carbon dioxide. We were in a carbon dioxide rich atmosphere. And as the carbon dioxide was drawn down with the sunlight through the chlorophyll molecule, we got carbohydrates, the molecule of life, the food we eat, the fiber we wear, and the oxygen we breathe. And this same process that is the green mantle of the earth is the process that is the basis of our food system and is the process through which the earth cooled her temperatures, bringing down the temperature and bringing down the carbon dioxide from the amazing, well, carbon dioxide intensive atmosphere to our oxygen atmosphere, so that the earth then welcomed us as a species. Just for 200,000 years ago, we are the youngest among the diverse species that are our relatives, our family. Our civilization in any way talks about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the earth as one family. The earth Vasundhara, she's Gaia, she's Pachamama, she's living. Her family includes humans and all beings. And yet, there was a truncation of this recognition of us being relatives of the microbes and the plants and the elephants. Instead, we created the illusion through mechanical philosophy, a desacralization of the earth. And through that mechanical philosophy, we were told by people like Bacon that unless we see nature and the earth as dead matter, as mere machines, we will not be able to conquer her. We will not be able to establish the empire of man over lesser creatures. This empire building is what has brought us to the extinction crisis. This empire building, short 100 years of oil, has given us the age of oil, which is not just building up the greenhouse gases, but is extinguishing the life on the earth, because every time we turn to oil, we turn our back to the biodiversity that the earth gives us. Take our clothing. I'm wearing a wool shawl that some sheep somewhere gave me. I'm wearing a cotton gown that cotton gave me. And when I shift to petrochemicals, to wearing synthetic fibers, not only do I turn clothing from an act of gratitude to the earth, celebration of beauty of human hands, into a fast fashion that is throwing so much clothing away. It's becoming a big part of pollution. But worse, it never disappears. Microplastics in the ocean, in everything, come from a petrochemical system. So we are wearing oil, we are eating oil, we are drinking oil, and in the process, the planet is getting sick, and we are getting sick. And worse, the producers, the small farmers, the small weavers are getting poor because they are being excluded and being dispossessed. We are interconnected through life and the flows of life. We are related through life to non-human species. And what connects us, flow, is a currency. The word currency means flow. Currency did not mean finance. Currency means the water that flows through the web of life, the nutrition that flows through the web of life, the life that flows through the web of life. As I say, the currency of life is life. And nourishing this life, protecting this life as a sacred gift is our duty and what being alive on this earth means. We are connected not only through life, we are connected in our consciousness. We are connected through compassion. I was fortunate I did my PhD in quantum theory, and physics has taught me the 4 basic principles that guide all my ecological work: non-locality, non-separation, interconnectedness, potential, not fixed quantities. Everyone has potential. And all they are needing is a nourishing of that potential. Everyone is a spiritual being. Everyone is an ecological being. Human beings are human beings, but other beings are intelligent and beings and sentient beings that have to be protected and loved. I remember on His Holiness's 60th birthday, I was invited to give a keynote address at the birthday celebrations. And of course, my work is on seed and the intrinsic value of seed and the diversity of seed and the autopoiesis of the seed. And I work, therefore, on genetic engineering, a violation of the principles of the integrity of the seed, its renewal, its regeneration, its being a commons available to all. I did not accept laws that make saving and sharing seeds a crime. For me, it's a violation of the ecological dharma. The dharma is to save and share the seeds. And I talked about patenting, I talked about GMOs, and His Holiness scribbled a little note after that. And I still preserve that note and quote it. He said, all beings have a right to happiness. No being has a right to take other people's happiness away. And this is our spiritual duty, to do no harm, to not cause pain, but at the same time, to have the capacity to feel the pain of the other, to feel the pain of the microorganisms that are pained when chemicals are sprayed on them, to feel the pain of the insects that are disappearing, to feel the pain of the forests as they're cut, and their integration with the flow of water is destroyed. But even more importantly, are the principles of non-separate, non-exclusiveness. There is no excluded middle. There is no duality. There is no either or. It's always and, always inclusion. And uncertainty. Certainty of a mechanical kind has become a prison and has become a restriction for us to act in freedom with our full being in service of life on earth, in service of a sacred universe in which we are guests for a while and have to play our little role. The enfolded in quantum theory is connected to the unfolding. The outside and the inside is not separate. There is nothing like an observer and an observed. The world is not a, a fragmented, divided world. As Bohm said, what we have here is a kind of universal process of constant creation and annihilation, determined through the superquantum potential, so as to give rise to a world of form and structure in which all manifest features are only relatively constant, recurrent, and stable aspects of the whole. It is this beautiful world of constant creation that is the wisdom we need. This constant creation means all aspects of destruction must be avoided in a conscious way. Take the climate crisis. I see the climate crisis as a rupturing of the relationship between the biosphere and the atmosphere and destroying the capacity of the earth as a living, self regulating organism to regulate her climate. This is the Gaia Theory. So, destroying the Earth's capacity to draw down the carbon dioxide and pumping the entire planet with excessive use of fossil fuels is what has given us what I call a metabolic disease of our Gaia. Just like we get metabolic disorders when we live on junk food, the Earth is being fed junk energy. Energy is what pervades through the universe. But junk energy is what is leading to pollution. And here too, our interconnectedness is a solution. I work on saving seeds, but we also work on ecological agriculture, an agriculture of non-violence, I call it, ahimsik kheti, an agriculture that therefore works in partnership with diverse beings, works with biodiversity. It's biodiversity intensive, not chemical intensive. An agriculture that is a gratitude, a daily gratitude to Mother Earth, a gratitude that reminds us that whatever we receive has been given to us by the earth, and our work is to basically give back a little so that in co creation with her, we feed the soil organisms, who then feed the plants, who then feed us. We are a very small part in the food cycle, and I have now come to know the web of life is a food web, and maintaining that food web is our duty. This is true ecologically, it's true at a spiritual level, but scientifically too. Our work is showing that by caring for the soil, you're actually drawing down the excess carbon dioxide. And if we were to stop the use of fossil fuels, in 10 years' time, if all of the world started to practice a non-violent sacred agriculture, the earth would be able to balance out. The earth would be able to perform her self regulating role of cooling as she did over the 4 billion years that she has been evolving. We, as I said, are young children. We are immature. Greed has overtaken us. Violence has become the way we think. Militaristic, mechanistic thought is at the root of all the crises we face. We cannot think of the crisis as separate. The same processes that give us pollution of the atmosphere and climate change are also destroying biodiversity. The same chemicals that are coming from fossil fuels give us nitrous oxide, give us toxic pollution, are also driving the insects to extinction. The same urge to create monocultures of the mind, I call it, is pushing species to extinction, but is also creating intolerance at the cultural level, violating the principles of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a mind that thinks this one is a friend and this one is an enemy, this one is like me and equal to me, and this one is below me, and this one is superior to me. All of these are illusions created by a petty mind. An enlarged heart and an enlarged mind sees the earth as one family. And this, to me, is the future seeds that we must sow. Our spiritual traditions have given us this gift. Our spiritual traditions have given us an abundance of wisdom. Indigenous cultures still hold this knowledge. They still live the life of non separation. Indigenous people hold in the 25% of the land where they're left 80% of the biodiversity that is there on the planet. I work with small farmers. I work with women who are creating gardens of hope in the middle of despair. In the middle of farmers' suicides, they're creating gardens of hope. In the middle of cyclones and flooding, they come back home. In the middle of COVID and lockdown, they planted gardens of hope. We have to turn this beautiful planet into a garden again and stop the war against the earth. We have to stop the war against each other. We have to start realizing oneness is what connects us, and hate does not divide us. And now I would like to share just one or two prayers that have been my guide from my tradition. The ancient Atharva Ved, the prayer to the earth from the Rigveda, says, impart to us those vitalizing forces that come from you, O earth, from deep within your body, your central point, your navel, purify us wholly. The earth is mother, I am a child. And the Yajurved says, thou art the earth, the ground, thou art all sustaining Aditi. She who supports all the world, control the earth, steady the earth, do thou the earth no injury. And every culture, till the industrial colonial culture, saw the earth as mother, asked the earth for instruction, lived by the law of the land. And the law of the land is diversity in unity. The law of the land is symbiosis, not competition. The law of the land is giving, not grabbing. The law of the land is abundance, not scarcity. And because food is my work, and sacred food is a sacrament in all cultures, in all religions, I want to share with you just two invocations related to food. The first, which tells us that the web of life is a food web. All that is born of Anna. Anna is food in Sanskrit. All that is born of Anna indeed. Whatever exists on earth is born of Anna, and in the end emerges into Anna. Anna indeed is the firstborn amongst all things, beings, and that is why Anna is called Sarva or Sudha, the medicine that relieves the bodily discomforts of all. This is the awareness that food is the first medicine, and bad food, junk food, is the cause of chronic diseases. That bad energy is the cause of disharmony within society and disharmony with the earth, whose name we give as climate change. And even more importantly, food creates life. Do not look down about Anna, food. That is the inviolable discipline for the one who knows. Prana, the winds of life, are indeed food. And Sarira, the body, is the partaker of food. Sharira is secured in prana, and prana is enshrined in Sharira. Being dependent on each other, the two are Anna for each other, and thus indeed Anna itself that is secured and enshrined in Anna. Understanding the sacred life and our role as spiritual being is the ecological challenge of our time. It is the transition that is waiting to happen. And I am so grateful to His Holiness for the amazing guidance He has given us. I'm so happy that I have had the fortune of being at His teaching many times and celebrating His birthdays as the time goes on. And to you all, thank you for joining this amazing conference. I am grateful I was able to participate. Thank you.